Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm going to use the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West, supportive oracle cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen. There's her last name. Okay. All right. Virgo, what you got going on here, man? The cards, like the oracle cards, are just like they're spilling out. As soon as I stop shuffling them, and then another one's flying out. For the love of Pete, what's going on? Yeah. Okay, let's see what's happening. I have a feeling this situation is all over the place. That's my first thought. And all this stuff. There's a lot going on here. That's all upside down. Falling all over the place. There's a lot going on here, you guys. Knight of Coins stays upright. Everything else is weird. Okay. Let's start over in the beginning, of course. This is one of those situations. I feel like it's all over the place. All over the place. You have the Six of Coins in your history. So you've dealt with this mess before. And like if this is going to hit with you, like this is a mess. There's no other way to look at it. There's like things going off all over the place is what I'm getting. Somebody else is pulling the strings. You got the Queen of Swords in the environment. This has happened before with the Queen of Swords. Don't get caught up in the gender, but this person is very much, they poke the bull, they get people riled up, they get this happening, they get that happening. They're like spinning 3 or 4 plates at one time, and they get other people all going, and everybody else is doing a bunch of stuff. Like, the situation gets a little hectic. Now, it doesn't have to be bad. For example, if it's like a family picnic that's being planned, this is somebody who just out of the blue just decides, we're going to do this in 2 weeks on this day, and this is where we're going to go. And they're like, they get these people doing this, and those people doing that, and then people are shuffling things around. And then it's like, it goes a couple days, and like, well, we can't do this, but can we do that? All right, can we move the day? Oh, can we move the time? Can we move the place? I can't make this, but can you bring that? Or like, there's a lot of like back and forth, and like, oh, can you pick up this person for me? Or can we do this? It's like popcorn going all over the place. Now, you're trying to pay attention because you want to be a part of this situation. But you have no idea. Like, it's so all over the place. Discovery's upside down. Like, you're like, it's kind of like you're confident it will happen. But exactly how it's going to happen and exactly when it's going to happen, it's kind of like, well, what looks like it's going to happen today, you know very well because you've been through this. What looks like is going to happen today could be completely different tomorrow, and even a week from now, that could change. There's a little stress for you here. It's kind of like, I want to work, I want to help, I want to plan, but how do you plan when people keep moving things all over the place and changing this and changing that? It's just kind of like, can somebody tell me, like, can somebody like decide on the actual day and time and let me plan from there? I want to help, I want to be contributing, but it's going all over the place. It's very like, it's stressful, but not like it's upsetting in a bad way. It's upsetting kind of like, I don't know what to do and I want to help. And everything's all over the place. 8 of Coins for you. You're like, all right. I feel like you're trying to get a hold of something and like, all right. I know when this does happen, I need to bring some food. So I'm going to decide what I'm going to make for that. And then I'm going to start planning that part at least. I'm going to plan what I'm going to make at least. I'm going to decide what I'm going to make. And then I'm going to give other people in my family or whatever my connection is, I'm going to give them the heads up and see what we can do for that. So you're trying to do your best. You're like, I know there's a lot of random moving parts here, but I think I can start, like I can plan this part. I think I can plan this part. This might be a little bit shaky, but like these 2 things, at least I can center on those for now, and I can do something with those. So that's where I'm going to start. Things are not shaping up yet. Destiny reversed with the 5 of Wands. there's going to be a moment here where it's kind of, there's a question, like, is this going to actually happen? Because you're starting to plan for things. You're expecting it to happen. You're starting to plan for what you can. Like, all right, well, at least these couple things, I can get those ready. I can do that. Meanwhile, there's arguments. Destiny reversed is telling me this might not happen. Whatever the situation is, you're thinking it will happen. You're like, no, this will work. It might not. There's problems. There's discord, arguments, people getting upset with people. I don't see you... See, that's the thing. I don't think you're directly involved with the arguments. It's happening outside of you, and I feel like later on you might see the fallout from that. As we keep going forward, you're not... See, they're not saying things. There's problems here. This is on its side, which is telling me there's arguments. There's big disagreements here. On the side is joy, self-worth, and renewal, which are very, warm colors, very passionate colors. People are trying to work out their differences, but I feel like it's kind of 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other. It's kind of like people are trying to work out their differences. People are still complaining. People are having this problem. People are trying to work it out. Other people are trying to help them work it out. You might be aware of it at this point. You might even be a little bit trying to help with it too. If that's the case where you're trying to help people get along, you're fully expecting this to just kind of smooth over. You're expecting this to work out, at least to some degree, where the event or whatever the situation is will still work out, will still happen. There's a lot of passion in this situation. You want this to happen, other people want this to happen, but the discord I feel like is not the best. There's people not getting along in this situation, and I don't think you realize how that's really going until somebody walks away. Somebody says, I'm not going to be a part of this. Nope, I'm done. I'm out. This is not something you really care for, but at the same time, it's like, well, all right. Like, it doesn't ruin the situation for you, but it's not as good as it would have been. How do you put this? It's kind of like having pizza, and it's like, I like pizza, but then you end up with a frozen pizza, which some people would be like, well, I don't like that. But how do I put this? It's like getting something that it's like you like it, but it's not the version you like of it. It's still good, but it's not what you really wanted. That's what I feel like when this person walks away, it's kind of like, well, it doesn't destroy everything. It's not really what I wanted, though. Like, that's kind of how I feel about frozen pizza. Like, sometimes it's okay, like DiGiorno, if you add some cheese to it anyway. But it's not like I wouldn't choose it. Like, if I could have a pizzeria pizza, I'd take that in 2 seconds. Like, I'd be like, oh, well, it's midnight. Everything's closed. It's Tuesday. I guess I'll go get a DiGiorno because I want pizza. It'll work. It'll work. It's not my preferred, but it'll work. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would say. So, and I feel like that's how you're reacting to this. Like, it's not really what I want to happen here, but I guess, it'll work. It'll work. That's how it has to be right now, then that's how it has to be right now. Somebody is isolating themselves completely from this situation. Whatever you're dealing with, you don't know the details is what I'm getting. And somebody is really not happy. And they're isolating themselves from the situation, and they don't want to be a part of something. There was an argument that I feel like they called somebody out on something, and it just didn't go well. They don't want to be a part of this mess. They don't want to talk about it. They're just isolating themselves from the whole situation because they don't want to be a part of it. They don't want to be pulled into whatever. There's a problem here. Whoever they were arguing with, if you're noticing people argue and one walks away and the other doesn't, if you know who the other is, there's a problem there. Something isn't right. It might be better for you to know rather than to not know. There's a lot happening after that. See, I feel like this whole reading is that you don't know exactly what's going on around you, and it might be better for you to know rather than to not know. You might be staying out of something yourself, kind of like, well, I don't want to make anything worse, or I don't really see how I can make that any better, or I'm like, it'll just make your life worse, and might do that. You're staying out of something that you're not happy with. You're not happy with how something is going, but you're trying to stay out of it, is what I'm getting with complacency. Meanwhile, what's happening is the Death card reversed, which is something is stagnant, but there's a problem headed. Justice reversed is something is not right. Something is something is really wrong. There's a person. It doesn't have to be male, but it is the King of Wands reversed, and the Lovers reversed here, which it's failing the test at the very least. But it could be infidelity, something like that. Somebody doing something they shouldn't have. Somebody. You could. I'm thinking of a couple things. I'm thinking of a pregnancy. I'm also thinking about somebody has contracted some type of transmittable disease and they don't care and they're passing it on without a care. Be careful. I don't know. Something's really wrong here, though. Something is really wrong here, though. That's what I'm getting. People are going on like everything's fine with the Nine of Pentacles. Like, no, it's fine. This is just how it goes. That's fine. There's a person here. It doesn't have to be male. Even though it's the King of Wands, it could be any gender. It's general read. Somebody's doing something and it's wrong. Something is really wrong here. It's only a matter of time before it hits the fan. There's a very strong injustice feel here with the Justice card reversed. It's better that you know. This person's stepping away. If you want to find out, if you talk to them one-on-one, they might tell you. They don't want anything to do with it. They're very upset about it as it is. The balance will come forward to this situation. Something's going to come forward. Sooner or later, it's going to come forward. Perseverance, balance, prayer. All of this is telling me sooner or later, somebody's going to be looking for answers. Somebody's going to get those answers. And then the truth, like the balance will be struck. Like when I'm getting balance will be struck, it's kind of like this is out of balance. This is like this, right? Bam. It's going to go right, like, bam, it's going to go right into balance. Like, nope, wrong, fix it. And it's boom. It's better that you know ahead of time. Even though you're not the one doing it, it's going to affect you quite strongly. It's better, the sooner you know, I feel like the more positive effect you can have. And the more you know, the sooner you know also, the better you can plan for it. Because Virgo usually is a planner. The sooner you know, the better you can get used to it, the longer you have to get used to what's going on here. That's the ending. I guess there's a lot of discord here. I feel like this whole reading is about you finding out what's happening so that you can plan for it and help, because somebody's going to need help. And it's going to make a significant difference to you. Okay. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you for watching. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.